12 days of Beardsmas 2023. Today we are talking about double dig. What do I mean by that? Day number 10, let's go. One more time, let's talk about Dr. Nick's Amazing Man Stuff. Let's give away a $50 gift card from them, and let's jump into a history lesson on a facial hair figure of the past. If that sounds good, real quick guys, thumbs up, aka the like button. But for real, if you could, just take a split second, look down below this video, hit that little thumbs up icon, and it does make a difference. Let's get into learning and to the lesson today. Let's talk about and let's learn about the father of Puerto Rico, aka Ramon Betances. Now, he is an absolute, first off, you see the facial hair here, my goodness, that is an absolutely iconic beard, full beard, great texture, great color to it. And what I love about it is he is a person that had kind of a status or a career, which was a lot of different careers, at a time where we didn't really see big full beards like that. This man was a doctor, a surgeon, he was a politician, he was an abolitionist, so many amazing things, and had a full rockin' beard from Puerto Rico. I love that. Anytime we can disrupt what is normal when it comes to facial hair, I'm all about it. But let's start from the beginning and learn about this guy. And I do want to preface this by saying, out of the 12 people I selected this year to go over, he is probably the least crazy or the least wild. I love a wild story. I love, whoa, that's nuts. There's not a whole lot of that today. No crazy like murder or like wild family member, anything like that. He's just someone that I thought had great facial hair, but was worthy of talking about, worthy of learning about, and worthy of remembering, because he's a guy that sacrificed it all for the bigger picture. He's someone that said, I am going to do stuff that is bigger than myself, and I'm going to leave a legacy behind, and I'm just glad to be able to share part of this legacy with you guys. So let's start back at the beginning. He is born in Puerto Rico, and he's actually born to a wealthy land-owning family. Still didn't stop him from losing siblings during the birthing process, which again, that's just such a wild world back then when having a baby was like a really, really risky thing for the mom and for the child. Today, of course, there's still risk, still unbelievable pain. But back then it was like, wow, you really could lose people. And he did, even coming from a wealthy family. But right away, as a young man, even before he was an adult, he had his mind set on Puerto Rican independence away from Spain. He was not a fan of the Spanish colony, the Spanish rule, and just the way Spain tried to control the people of Puerto Rico, from their education to their job, to so much. It was a very controlling area. He wanted independence, but he also wanted to help people. He saw suffering all around him, so he thought immediately the best way he could help is by becoming a doctor and actually helping people on the ground with sickness, with different things that are causing pain in their life, and that if he was able to build up his life as this like philanthropist and giving back, that he could then have a bigger platform or bigger stage to make change with things like a revolution or independence. And essentially, he decides, I'm gonna go for it, and I'm gonna go study medicine in Paris, France. Now, he is only the second Puerto Rican human to graduate from this school in medicine. Pretty accomplished, pretty amazing. He stays over in France for a while. He actually has a pretty special spot in his heart for France. He spends the last like 25 to 26 years of his life back in France again. So clearly it was something that he enjoyed and meant a lot to him, even though he was exiled in previous locations, which we'll talk about. He goes to school, gets his doctorate. He is a doctor. He is a surgeon, actually. He goes even farther. But he returns home to Puerto Rico when there's a cholera outbreak, and he wants to come back home and help the people that are suffering. He pops around and does little kind of like pop-up hospitals until he gets his own region where he pairs up with another doctor, and he's in charge of a lot of people, a lot of very sick people, and he really does his best. Stays in Puerto Rico for a while, but then starts to get chirping, starts to talk to some other powerful friends, some doctors, some politicians, and says, you know what? The time is now. Let's organize a revolt and let's win our independence away from Spain. It is a pretty large revolt. It's a semi-successful revolt. They do not win independence. They do not defeat Spain, and he actually gets exiled. So what do I mean by successful? It was inspiring. It put the idea out there to others, and especially the young youth of Puerto Rico, to say, hey, there is something here. Maybe we should be fighting for this, because Spain was really, really, really hard on the people. So he exiles and leaves for New York City. While he's in New York City, he's working as a doctor. He actually pairs up with other doctors, and the entire time he is still fighting for Puerto Rican independence. And not only Puerto Rico, he is actually half Dominican as well. And so he starts fighting for Dominicans' independence. Well, he links up with people from Cuba and he's working with them. And then also Haiti, which he spends some time in. He just decides, you know what? What if we have a full Caribbean coalition? What if we build together to get away from these colonies, to get away from this colonialism that we've seen from Spain and England and these other powerhouses that just didn't really do good for the colonies? And so they start fighting, they start getting people organized and doing their thing. He eventually comes back to Puerto Rico again, and at this time, he tries setting up schools. He wants to educate the youth. He also wants to do things with health, with hygiene. He did so much. If we want to sit down and break down all the philanthropical, oh man, I butchered that one. You guys know what I mean there. If he did all these amazing things, if we broke it down, we would be here for a long time. That's how amazing this guy was, and it was always coming out of his own pocket. He was funding himself on all of this. When he was giving his medical attention to the poor, he ended up becoming known as the doctor of the poor because he was doing it pro bono. He was doing it for free, not charging the people when it was costing him money for the supplies, the time, and the equipment, all of that stuff. Unbelievable. But he tries to set up a school. That was the final line of Spain. Not the armed revolt, not all this other stuff. When he tried to educate the youth, they were like, hold up, because Spain knew that if there was education, that could lead to a revolt. If people really know what's going on in the history of all this stuff, those kids that are growing are not going to be happy once they become adults, so they exiled him again. He spent time in Haiti, he spent time in France, and he really wanted to win this independence. Now, as he's getting older, he moves back to France and starts living as a doctor there. He's married to his wife, great relationship, deeply in love with each other. He starts to have some worries towards the end of his life as they're fighting for independence, as they're getting away from Spain. He said, the only enemy I fear more than Spain, or at the same level as Spain, is the growth of the United States, is the expansion of the United States. The year he died was the exact year that the U.S. annexed Puerto Rico as a territory. Whoa, and I'm talking years before this, he said the only other thing that he feared was the United States, even though he spent time in New York and had a great experience and raved about New York and made great accomplishments for Puerto Rico while he was in the United States. He said, I don't want to be a colony of anyone. I don't want to be a colony of Spain. I don't want to be a colony of the United States. We want our independence. And I'm not going if that's good, if that's bad, but it was just kind of almost poetic and sad and tragic that the one thing he warned about happened the year he died. Now, he died pretty much in poverty. He grew up wealthy. He was a doctor. He was a politician. These positions that should have wealth, he gave everything back to the people. Everything back to Puerto Rico. He left some land and a few small things behind for his wife, who actually survived him by 20 years. She lived 20 years after him. He was cremated in France. His remains were brought back to Puerto Rico. When they were brought back to Puerto Rico, they were welcomed by over 20,000 Puerto Ricans that were mourning his death. He actually requested not to have a big ceremony. He didn't want to make a big deal about it. Word got out that his remains would be arriving, and the people lined up and organized themselves. 20,000. If you guys can get an image of that, me and my wife Sam just went to the MLS Cup finals to cheer on our crew that won the cup. That broke their attendance record of just over 20,000 people. That's a lot. If you go to a pro baseball game, many of places are around 20,000 people. They were all there for him. And I believe his legacy, his image, his reputation has only grown as time has gone by. The father of Puerto Rico, all deserved. This man is a great man who left behind an even greater reputation and impact on the world. So wow, this was a really cool one for me to cover. Again, I like the crazy ones. I like the shock and awe. This one was respect. We definitely need to go over this, and he had a killer beard. All right, guys, let's go ahead and shift over and let's talk about some more amazing stuff. That is Dr. Nick's Amazing Man stuff. I'll put down at the bottom, guys, DanC is your forever 15% off discount code. And you guys can really feel and tell how passionate I am about this company. And why? Because their stuff is just that good. There are many things I use on a literal every single day basis, including their face wash, including their body wash, right? This is that Yule tree seasonal scent that makes you smell like a Christmas tree, like an actual Christmas tree. It is fantastic, you guys. And with the body wash, just so you know, every single ounce of body wash sold, so this one is a 16 ouncer, they donate the equal amount of ounces to the homeless in Boston. Now, the goal is to be able to grow that and make it nationwide and then worldwide, but they're taking care of the Boston homeless right now, and they're doing very well. We're looking to start expanding with this program. I've been able to help them out and start reaching out to some other areas, and they've also expanded it in a different way. They've partnered up with several barbershops in the area, including Sims Barber Lab, and they are giving away free makeovers to these homeless men so they can feel confident to go on job interviews. Giving them, and they actually aren't just stocking the body wash. If you go to it's called the Friends of Boston, which is the homeless shelter there, they not only stocked them with the body wash, they gave them face wash, they gave them beard wash, they gave them beard oil. They really hooked them up on top of doing like Thanksgiving dinners and Christmas dinners. Dr. Nick's does a lot that nobody sees because they're just doing it for the right reasons. They don't want to talk about it, but I'm happy to share it, especially when I see it behind the scenes. So every ounce of body wash that is sold is donated. And in those barbershop makeovers, they're giving them head haircuts. They're giving them beard trims. They're lining up their neck if they need to. And they're feeling better because they have good products in the shower, right? Everybody wants to put stuff on the homeless. Get a job. There's more jobs available now than ever. It's really hard to go get a job if you don't feel clean. If you don't feel confident, if you don't feel like you can present yourself for a job you feel you're worthy for, I know how good it feels to have that fresh shower, to get good products, get a nice haircut, get a nice beard trim. They are literally changing lives for the better, and a lot of people don't even realize that. That says a lot about this company, you guys. Again, I could go on and on. I recommend everything. Take a look at the ingredients on their beard butter. Show me another beard butter in the entire market, in the entire industry, that even comes near their ingredient list. I'll wait, it doesn't exist. It's a wonderful butter. Their oil, I've talked about many times. Their balm comes in a stick. That's really dang cool. Body wash, face wash, beard conditioner. You guys, they've got it all on top of really cool swag with their hats and their shirts and their beanies and their hoodies. Absolutely amazing. This is a company that you would feel good about getting behind. And I did want to put this one today with like the really good history story because Dr. Nick's legitimately does stuff in that same kind of light. They give back. It's not about attention. It's not about becoming the richest people or anything like that. They just love helping people and they go about it in the right way. All right. Over to their giveaway where some of you will be able to experience them, maybe for the first time, a $50 gift card. All you need to do is, number one, sign up with the Gleam link. You probably already are. Number two, make sure you're subscribed to this channel. Thank you, guys. And if you guys want to share this, it's not a requirement, but that really would mean a lot to me. I love this series, and I think others would, and this is a good kind of introduction into the beard community, the beard channel, the beard world, and for them to be like, ooh, I like history. I have a beard. Oh, maybe I will take care of it. Oh, wow, they give... You got me. Come on now. Share it out. That would be amazing. The last thing is, I would just like you to leave a comment down below with something positive. Was there a good thing that happened to you today? What about over the weekend? Was there somebody you want to show love to? Again, I'm not looking for me. I don't need to fish for compliments. You guys are beyond amazing with giving me feedback that just fuels my day. But what about elsewhere? Is it a family member? Is it a friend? Maybe you had a good experience with a waitress. You don't even know her name. Let's put some positivity in that comment section, and who knows how that ripple effect could help somebody else out there today. You never know. Thank you, guys. I cannot wait to read these positive comments. Please check out this company. I promise you, you will have a pleasant experience. Dancy Bearded. Please stay bearded and stay positive.